Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been kind of busy, but I have a lot of time coming up here soon after this week. So we'll get back to the curves menu. I think you'll really, if you go through there and really learn those commands in each sub command and in the command line and all the drop downs, I think it'll really help you out, honestly. But let's go ahead and get started on this thing. It's going to be a little detailed, so I'm going to try to go a little bit slow and explain things as we go. So bear with me. It might be a little bit longer video. I apologize for that. And we'll go ahead and get started. So tools, ring rail, and we'll grab that. All right, we'll go grab outside ring rail. And you've watched my videos. You know I like the Euro shank. So that's what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and do a Euro shank on this one. I'm going to bump this one out over here in my side thickness. I'm going to type in a 2.25, sorry. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag this bottom down to my normal 2.5. That's kind of the thickness I like. And then I'm going to drag this up to around a 4. And if I hold down shift, it should be a little easier. So we'll go ahead and take that. Now I'm going to go to gems. I'm going to grab me a gem. And this one will go to the diamond area here, and I'll just grab me a pearl, and then I'll hold down shift and take it out to a 6 millimeter, and then I will drag it up higher than my ring rail, but not too much higher, somewhere around here, maybe a little bit lower, something like that. And then just go ahead and hit enter, and let's just go ahead and add that pearl cup for the bottom of it. So let's go to our settings and go to pearl cup, and I'm a little off here, so I'm going to drag this down just a smidgen, and not so it's touching, but pretty close, and get it as close as possible, but not touching. And let's see, let's turn it to shade so we can see what's going on. That'll probably be helpful. And I will take that all the way down to the minimum here. I could take it smaller, but this will be fine. And I think I'll leave everything else alone and hit enter. And if I take that and hide it, you can see that I have a post already on it, and you can come over here to your parametric commands and make that post height taller, or make the diameter wider, your choice. I'm going to switch it back to wire. Okay, so we probably should go up probably halfway for good support. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take this and go back and edit it, and we'll take that height up just a little bit so that it kind of goes up halfway there. Thickness 0.5. I think that'll be okay, because we're going to have a lot of stones. I think it'll be pretty secure, so we'll just go ahead and take that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our curve and grab us a circle, and we're going to start creation. So let's go to our creation layer, yellow, and we'll go to F4, and I'll just hold down shift, hanging it up this way, something like maybe this here should be pretty close, maybe. And I have snaps on, so I'm going to grab a line. And if you watched any of the past curves menu commands for the line, you'll know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to go to tangent, and then I'm going to pick point, and it allows me to pick a point out there in space, and then I can get tangency with that curve. So I'm going to go to the outside curve, and I am going to see it snaps it right there to tangency, and I know that's tangent. So when I go to make that cut, it'll be tangent all the way around. So I'm going to select that curve there. I'm going to go to my transform and mirror, and I'm going to turn on my X and turn off my Y, and so I have them over on both sides right there, and then hit enter. Okay, I'm going to select this curve here, go to split, and I'm going to split it with this and hit enter, and I'm going to get this one here, and I'll just delete it. We don't need it. And then I'm going to take all my yellow, I'll just go ahead, all my yellow, and then I will join it together. Now right now we have a nerves curve, so if I flow it up there and try to put stones around, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it'll kind of be choppy, because it's a poly curve. And how do I know it's a poly curve? If I type in what, it'll pull up my object description box, and it says poly curve with 2 segments, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter. We want to change this to a NURBS curve just to be safe. So I'm going to go ahead and go to curves, go all the way down here to edit tools, do the drop down, fit tolerance, and then just hit enter. And now it's a NURBS curve. It didn't change it at all. And how do I know? If I go to my command line, right click in my command line, recent commands, go to what? NURBS curve. Okay, so I know it's a NURBS curve now. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to go to front of my curves tab to curve from 2 views. I'm going to select this curve and select my outside ring rail, and it'll slap my curve up there, right? And then I'll go ahead and hit enter. Now I'm going to take this curve here and I'm just going to bump it over just a smidge so it breaks that right there, right? And it doesn't matter because we can alter that all day long. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to ungroup it. There we go. And now I can just hide this one and get rid of it for right now. We don't need it. This one we might need, so we'll just leave it out there. All right, so we'll go ahead and grab these. That curve there, and we'll go to gems and gems on curve. And we'll go ahead, and what I want to do here is I want to take my end position here, and I want to put it right there on that red line, as close as I can get it. So that should be pretty close. That's probably as close as I'm going to get it. So let's go back to shaded here. And now I want to go to this side here and bring my start down somewhere around here. It's kind of difficult to really get it going right now, but we'll take it there. And let's take that spacing so that's pretty tight. There we go. And we need to, right now it's on our outside curve, right? This is really our outside curve. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to take this placement here and we're going to bump it up some so that when we go to add our head, it'll go into our head, not into our stones, right? Which is what we want. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that, and right away I'm going to take it and I'm going to go ahead and mirror it to the other side. Again, turn on X, turn off Y, and so I can kind of see what's going on here, right? And I'll hit enter, and now we'll go back to these stones here, and I'm just going to bring these in pretty close together. Something like that, right? And then I'll go ahead and hit enter, right? So now we have all those out there. And we're just going to work with this side here, and we'll deal with that side later. All right, so we have that, and I believe I didn't change the diameter, so they should be a 1.3. Yeah, okay. Just check, make sure. And I'll go to my gems, grab another gem, and this time I'm going to take this one and drag it to a 1.3 so it's the exact same size as my item out there, right? Okay, so we have that. And I'll go ahead and accept that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that stone, go to my settings, and just grab me an under bezel. And of course, nothing will show up because the stone's too small for it to calculate everything out as its default or whatever, right? So what we're going to do is top thickness here and bottom thickness. We're going to, first of all, we're going to take the bottom thickness and make it as small as possible. Top thickness we'll leave alone for right now, and we'll adjust it. Well, we'll just take it a little bit. Something like that, and we want to get rid of all this here, and we want to, let's see, our bottom, yeah, we want to, first we should probably drag this down. We'll take it down to about a 4.8, and now we want to make it as small as we can before it blows up in our face, like right there. Okay, so it's a -6. Let's drag this up a little bit. This is the part you'll have to have a little patience with. I think it was a 0.6. We want this here. We'll drag it up a little bit because it might be able to let us. No, okay. So we'll see what happens here first. Let's go back up here. I don't want any of that dome. We're going to get rid of that dome. And, you know, if you want the dome, that's fine. I'm going to drag this up something like this. What's my 0.482? That should be fine. Let's see if I can I still want to get that probably, well, we'll see what it looks like first. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take it. Now we'll go to our gems, orient to gem. We'll select our base gem, that'll be this one. Select our objects to, select objects to orient, that'll be this. And enter, and then these stones here, and then hit enter. So we have all that out there, right? And it all, if I go to my front view, it's all inside my ring rail, okay, which is what we want. And then I'll hit enter for right now because we might have to manipulate it some more. It's all parametric, so it's no big deal. Now what I'm going to do, what's that gem half green? Oh, okay. I know. Let's get rid of these for right now. Okay, we don't need those anyway right now. I had two stones there. Because I mirrored them. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead to our settings and we'll just go ahead and put prong placer on there. And right away, we're going to take these all the way down. It only takes us to -3. We need it deeper than that. So we'll take it to a -5 and hit enter. Yeah, here we go. And actually, we can see those prongs all pretty good. That's the thing. If you don't make this thing here as thin as possible, it's not going to be thin once you cut it out. It's going to have some meat to it. The hole will be a little thin, but it'll drop it way down in there. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, actually. And we can see all the prongs pretty well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that. I'm going to go ahead and bump these up a little bit. And let's check these out. Let's go ahead and make them a little bit thicker. 5.56. And then let's go ahead and go to our end and diameter. Let's type in a 0.56 for those end prongs too, so they match up. And that looks pretty good, I think. All right, and then we'll hit enter. And as you can see, we can do two things here. We have a little bit too much gap there. We could probably take this and we can maybe move that back in a little bit. It's blue there, so let's bump it back out. Well, we can move our pearl, probably be easier. And so I'm just going to back out of that, but get it back to where it was. There we go. That's where it was. So we'll just take that right there. And let's go ahead and adjust this pearl here real quick. I'll select that. I'll select that, hold down shift, select that, and let's adjust that. So we'll go to our top and we'll just kind of bump it over this way a little. And let's go to our perspective, kind of get a look. Is it too much? Yeah, a little too much, huh? Let's take that and let's undo that. Aborting block. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's take that, hold down shift, select the underneath it, and just kind of bump it over just a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that. Let's see if they're touching. Yeah, it's touching. Okay. All right, so that should be okay. We'll check it a little bit. We can always move it, so no big deal. Well, let's go ahead and let's take all of this right now, and we'll just change it to gray for right now, and we'll keep that out here for right now. Now what we need to do is get everything over to the other side, right? I'm going to do it individually just to make it sure that I get everything over there correctly. So we're going to take this, we're going to ungroup it. I'm going to deselect this one. I'm going to group them back together, and I am going to transform, mirror, X on, Y off, and we have that, and hit enter. And I'm going to take all those, change them to green, so we have them all same color. And I'm going to take these prongs here, and I'm going to see if I can hold down control. I can't deselect or deselect them all, so I'll go ahead and grab those. I'll ungroup them. I'll deselect this one and group them back together and mirror them over to the other side. X direction on, Y off, and hit enter. And we have two here. It went ahead and threw those over, so I'm just going to grab the purple one here and get rid of that, and the purple one there and get rid of that. And I'm going to take all my purple and all of these mirrored and turn them to purple, so we keep them all together. All right, and now I'm going to take those and I am going to take those. I'm going to ungroup it, deselect this one, group them back together, go to mirror, and same thing, X on, Y off, and we have that, and enter, and make sure this one's just by itself. And I'll take all those and group them together, so we have all our blue. Well, that's okay, all our blue and group. There we go. Okay, and we have all these. That's okay, and we have all these. Okay, all right, so we're good so far. Yeah, it looks okay. All right, so we'll go ahead, check this area out, and they come right in close together. We can put a saw blade through there and get those stones set, no problem. So we're going to take that and get rid of it, turn it to gray. Now we need to bring back our outside ring rail. So I'm going to click on my three dots there and hit show. And it brings back our ring rail, right? Now let's go to all perspectives, and we kind of want to keep a look on our front. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this one to wireframe so I can kind of keep an eye on it. We're going to go to curves. We're going to go to offset, and we're going to select this curve here, and we'll take that down to maybe 0.7, and then hit enter. And we're going to grab this one and right click, bring back that offset, and kind of watch our top there. This is all parametric, so you should be able to come back in here and redo everything. If you don't like it, we'll go ahead and select that. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take this curve, and we will go to our solids, extrude planar, right? And we'll extrude both sides, yes, and solid, yes. And we'll just kind of drag that out like that, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to select our, well, we'll go to a Boolean difference, and we'll select all our green and hit enter, and we'll select our cutter right there and hit enter, and we'll check. It looks okay. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and hit enter, and we'll just go ahead and hide this. And now what we want to do is let's put everything in shaded, and we're going to go ahead and go to our cutters, cut to ring rail, and we're going to select all our green and all our purple and hit enter. And I shouldn't have done that because I probably have my no, it's green. Well, maybe it saved it. Okay, yeah, it's cut. I should have ungrouped this, kept that by itself. But it looks like it's okay. So okay, so let's take all purple and we'll just turn that to there. Okay, so we have all that out there. And let's hide that gemstone or the pearl. Okay, everything looks good. Now we can come in here and take a look. It's touching right in through there. It's not really touching so much. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, it's touching everywhere. And it looks pretty good. Okay, so let's bring that back out. So we have all that, right? Pretty cool. And we have a nice cutout with under bezels and a bezel with prongs going around, right? So I'm going to take all that yellow and I'm going to hide it. So now it's just a matter of kind of doing a little cleanup work or figuring out how you want everything to go together. So we'll go to tools. We'll go to profile placer. We'll select our ring rail there, and we'll go to all perspectives, probably easier. And we want to drag this profile over so that it's kind of like right in the middle of our prong there. Kind of like right in the middle, and then kind of swing it around so it goes, splits that prong right through there, right? And then we're going to come down here, hold down shift and drop one here. And we're going to go ahead and manipulate this one a little. I'm going to take it down to a 4. And then we want to add one more right up in here. And that looks pretty good. We'll just bump that in just a little. And then we'll come over here. And of course, we want to go ahead, select the outside ring rail. That'll be this one. Everything should snap up. That's why we did the stone placement. We moved it up a little bit. So now it goes right into the side of our shank, right? Or the head there, the under bezel. So now we're just going to drag this into where it goes into those two curves there. We have a little gap there, but once that dome's on, it's not going to really, it'll close all that up, make it look nice and smooth. And we'll come over to this one here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll click on this button here, and we'll drag it into where it's inside those 4 there. Not really worried about how thick anything's going to be. And then we'll just go ahead and hit enter. Now I'm going to go to my surface 2, 1, 2, this profile here, this profile here, and our profile right in there, and hit enter. And now since that dome is there, it's really closing it up, and it looks good right in there. And swing it over to the side here, and we could probably bring this one in a little bit, so we'll do a little manipulation there. You can also, if you wanted to, right here, you could go to maintain height, do something like that if you wanted to. So we're going to go ahead and accept this, and I'm going to grab this one because it's just a little bit out there too much, and make sure, yeah, we're on that one, okay, and just bring it in just a little. It's still 2 point, so we'll take it to 2.0, kind of get a look. Yeah, it goes right in there. Yeah, okay, and we'll go ahead and take it. Now we have a nice little pearl ring, right? And I'll go ahead and turn off those outside and take all my yellow, turn it to gray, and we've got a nice little pearl ring there. So hopefully, there's a lot of possibilities doing stuff like this. So hopefully this will help. And I think you'll be able to create a lot of really cool designs using this kind of a technique with the under bezels and using the prong work and everything. So hopefully this helps. And if it does, please like, subscribe, share. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And good designing.